Are we good? Okay. Dan, did you want to?
No, I was making sure Mayor has.
You can first too, it's fine.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I just noticed you had written several things. I wasn't sure if you maybe wanted to comment on the notes you've been making.
He's gonna
Well,
need
I'm happy to talk. So, I am Dan Hanlon, report in Cop Watch, and we did submit this 9-page analysis of the COCL's last report to the judge. In the last meeting, I asked you, the COAB, if you would review that and submit any comments you had about it to the powers that be, because I know you didn't have time to review that report yourself. I also see that they have their semi-annual assessment outcomes report on the table over there, and I think we're going to spend some time going over that as well. My understanding is that Dr. Rosenbaum's coming to present this to you next month, so I think it would be good if you are prepared to pepper him with questions. And you know, when we do these analyses, we have as many questions about what the COCL did, about what the city did and what the Bureau is doing. But he does bring out a lot of issues that are important, and I don't want to, you know, we've had our disagreements with Dr. Rosenbaum, I think all of us, but I think that there are some things in here that are useful for our community, and I think it's worth reading the reports. The other thing is that the main thing that I spoke about when Judge Simon let us speak to him, which again, I think he was trying to show up the city for the way they've been stopping people from testifying before city council, and they violently pushed people out of City Hall. And I have been told by the mayor twice in the last month and a half to stop talking because he didn't appreciate that I was talking on the topic that he didn't like, which is not how you listen to people. Right? And so this should also be a lesson to the city. Tonight's meeting should be a lesson to the city as well as Judge Simon. But my main point that I made there out of our analysis is that there are other committees that are being listened to more than you, and I see you have a draft letter here. I'm hoping that you're going to talk about that you're going to send in asking why the Training Advisory Council got feedback and you did. Why, and you have former members of BHU Advisory Committee here, where they can talk a little bit about how they get their feedback and how come they're having their recommendations adopted and you're not. Because that's very frustrating for you, it's very frustrating for the community, especially those of us who helped you craft your recommendations. Mm-hmm. That's not happening. And it just seems ridiculous that, you know, no offense, but the BHU Advisory Council doesn't even have open meetings to the public, and you do, and you're not getting listened to. So I'd like to see some discussion around that. Just as a program note, we at CopWatch forwarded out the Training Advisory Council's agenda last Friday, told people that the meeting was going to be yesterday, the 9th, because that's the day they usually meet on the second Wednesday. They changed the date, but they didn't change it on one of the calendars online. So I thought it was last night. I drove all the way out to the training facility, and there was nobody there, and there was no note on the door. And I luckily then called one of my members who had the email and said, "Oh, you didn't read the email you sent out, but it says it's on the 16th. But those of you who want to see what the chief said back to the Training Advisory Council, I know you have the paperwork in here, but you can see him talk to them. It'll be next Wednesday, the 16th, out there at 149th and whatever that street is on, out by the airport. So I think it's worth going to one of the Training Advisory Council meetings and doing some cross talking between your groups.
Nice.
Okay, thank you, Dan. Does anybody want to respond to Dan in discussion or concerns? I think it's a great discussion to have.
Oh.
Go ahead, V.
No, I'm sorry.
So just real